Hello everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. As you can tell today, we're out and about, getting ready to do some more media hunting. I haven't done this in about a month because I've had to do some repairs on the car, and so I haven't really been able to get out and do any hunting, get out and see any movies, so we're going to do both of those today. We're going to hit up Disc Replay, which we're at right now. And then I'm going to check out Best Buy. There's been a couple new releases recently that I've been interested in picking up. Among them is Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1, which just came out last week. Haven't had a chance to pick that up yet, so I'm interested in seeing if there's any like special releases of that, or if I'm just going to go with the standard. And then we may also hit up a Walmart. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the new Conjuring film, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, which is the third Conjuring film. I loved the first two, directed by James Wan. Unfortunately, this one is not directed by James Wan, and I've heard not so great things about it. I've heard mixed opinion, really. So I'm still interested in seeing it. I've kind of, like I said, I haven't been able to check it out. I know it's been out for a month now almost, but I'm going to finally see that tonight. So if you're interested in my thoughts on that, go ahead and skip forward to the end of the video. If you want to check out and see if I pick anything up today, definitely stay tuned throughout the video. I was going to bring some stuff to trade in today to Disc Replay and get some store credit, but unfortunately I left that pile of Blu-rays at home, so I can't trade anything in, but I still might pick something up. So again, stay tuned throughout the video if you're interested to see any pickups, and let's get started. Okay, so just left Disc Replay with a nice little haul, 6 titles, and believe it or not, I actually picked up the same amount of DVDs as I did Blu-rays, which I think is the first time in probably at least a couple of years that I've done that, because I just don't pick up DVDs anymore. We're now on to 4K. So, but I do pick up DVDs, especially when they're TV seasons, because there's a lot of great TV shows from back in the day that have never been put onto Blu-ray, and so the bulk of my DVD collection is television shows, and that's pretty much everything here. I picked up 4 TV series and 2 movies, so I'm going to go through those real quick, and got an incredible deal on this. I got all of this for $33, and one of the titles was actually mislabeled in terms of price, and so I got it for $10 less than it was labeled. So I'll point that out when we get to it, because that was pretty cool as well. So, first thing I picked up The Awful Truth, which was a TV show that Michael Moore put out, I think, in the early 90s. I don't know how many seasons there were of this. The DVD came out in 2000, but I'm pretty sure this came out in the 90s. And I don't know how many seasons there were of this, but I picked up the first season here on DVD, little 2-pack volume set here. 12 episodes. I love Michael Moore. Watching his movies were a big impact on me, forming my own ideas about the world, about government and politics and that kind of thing. So I know if you're not of the same mind as myself or as Michael Moore, he can kind of make people angry, but I really enjoy his stuff. And he's also very funny too. He always brings humor to his topics, even if they're extremely serious. So went ahead and picked that up. I've seen that for years, but that was a really decent quality copy in some good shape. So I went ahead and picked that up for $4. Next one I picked up here for $4 is season 1 of The Chappelle Show. I've seen clips here and there of this series, and of course I love Dave Chappelle's comedy. I've watched tons of his comedy specials, so I love his humor. So I'm excited to watch this. I don't know if it's this season or not, but there's a sketch in this show that is one of the funniest things that I've seen of all time, about the blind KKK member. that is a classic scene. a classic sketch that is hilarious. So a fun sketch comedy show, Chappelle's Show. Then let's get into Blu-rays. So I picked up this film, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. This is the second of Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy movies, and I don't know if this is out of print, but I never see this, and I never see the first Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movie. I always see the new one that came out last year or the year before, but I never see Guillermo del Toro's ones, and I want to watch them. And so I was able to snag this for $4. Again, not sure if this is out of print or not, but it seems to be hard to find for some reason out in the wild. So I was able to score that. The other movie that I picked up here is Neighbors with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen. I've been watching tons of comedy movies from my youth the past month. You're going to see that when I start my new series of my film diary for the month. I'm going to talk about the films that I've been watching, but naturally that means a lot of Seth Rogen movies. So I've been watching some Seth Rogen movies. This one is kind of towards the end of, kind of my really nostalgic period with comedy. Comedy movies that I watched, in my early teen years are the ones that are the most nostalgic for me. This one came out, I think, in 2014. Yeah, 2014. So that was, I was 18 in 2014. So that was kind of towards the end of my nostalgic period. But I still got a lot of enjoyment out of this. I thought it was funny. Kind of made Zac Efron a likable person for me. So, Neighbors. Excited to maybe revisit that one of these days. Okay, next thing I picked up is The Undoing, which was an HBO limited series. Came out either early this year or sometime last year. I haven't had the chance to see this. I haven't really heard hardly anything about it, but it's an HBO limited series for $13. I figure it's going to be good. I like almost everything HBO puts out, so I picked that up. And then this was the steal of the day. I picked up Season 7 of Law & Order. So I am a big Law & Order fan. I've done videos about Law & Order SVU in the past on the channel. And I've been in the process of picking up all the original Law & Order sets on DVD. And so I've been wanting to pick more of these up. This was the only set that they had in there, and it's labeled as $15. They actually sold this to me for $6. So that was a great deal. The 7th season, yeah, it's one of the old school sets, so it's not like the slim case, the individual slim case. So very happy to pick this up for $6. I forget which seasons I have, but I have pretty much the first 5 seasons, I think, and now I add season 7 to the list. So I'm slowly filling out the original Law & Order DVD collection. Okay, so that's everything I picked up from Disc Replay. Now let's, I think we're going to go get some food, get some Popeye's chicken, and then head over to Best Buy. Alright, got some delicious fried chicken. And some red beans and rice that honestly look kind of sad, but still taste good. That's what matters. So, I'm going to enjoy my lunch, and then let's head into Best Buy. Okay, I was able to pick up a couple things from Best Buy. Go ahead and show those to you real quick. I was able to pick up the one thing that I really wanted, which I wasn't sure I was going to get in the first place. I'll explain that in a second. So, first thing I picked up here is this movie called The Dark and the Wicked. I've heard really good things about this. This is a good horror movie. Some other YouTubers have talked about this movie and got me kind of interested in it and wanted to see it, so I picked this up for $13. It might go down in price one of these days, who knows, but $13 is not a bad deal for a relatively new release with a slipcover. So yeah, I picked this one up. And then the main thing I wanted, I didn't even know I was going to get it. My expectations were low, but I picked up the Steelbook release for Batman The Long Halloween Part 1. I really wanted to pick this up. Found out that it released on Tuesday. Today's Saturday. And so if you know Best Buy and their Steelbooks, generally speaking, they sell out the first or second day of release. So they had 2 Steelbooks left in there, and I was able to score one of them. Very excited about this. It's a really cool looking Steelbook. I'll go ahead and unbox it for you guys since it's a new release, and I'll give you a good idea of what it looks like without like plastic on it and everything. So this is a really nice Steelbook. Whew, beautiful. I'm not a big Steelbook person. I have, you know, a handful of them in my collection, but when I see a really nice looking Steelbook, I really enjoy it. So there's that. There's the back, has a J card on it. And then let's see if we can get that off. Really cool picture of the Joker on the back. So if you're not familiar with this comic, this is one of the most famous comics in... What the heck? Batman. Okay, this is very confusing. There's only one disc in here. It looks like there's supposed to be 2 discs. Huh. I'm gonna have to look that up and see if there's some sort of... I'm wondering if this was packaged to include the Part 2 discs, or if I got one that had a mistake. I don't know. I'm gonna read up on this. But anyway, there's the inside. Really cool shot of Gotham. Anyway, this comic, this is one of the most famous comics in Batman history and DC history. Really, really dark, lots of great villains. So I'm really excited to check out the adaptation. Now, DC kind of swung and missed on their first adaptation of a notorious comic, and that was The Killing Joke. That movie was, you know, so-so. But from what I've heard from comic lovers, this is a really solid adaptation of The Long Halloween. So I'm excited to have that in the collection. I'm gonna figure out what's going on with that missing disc. If there is actually a missing disc, I may have to go back into Best Buy and figure that out. So anyway, after I get that done, we're gonna go see The Conjuring Part 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, and we'll go ahead and give you guys my thoughts after seeing the movie. Hey guys, at the theater, before I go in though, I wanted to update you on this Batman Long Halloween Steelbook release that confused me so much. So there is only supposed to be 1 disc. Done the research online. There's only supposed to be 1 disc, but for some reason they made the Steelbook into something that could hold a 2-disc release. I think the working theory online is that they were planning on doing a 4K release that would have came with a Blu-ray as well, but they must have ditched that at the last minute. So it's just a Blu-ray, not a 4K. And the mystery of the missing disc has been solved. There is no missing disc. It's just a strange choice of packaging. So I feel kind of relieved. If you guys got this Steelbook and you were confused as well, rest assured that you are not missing a disc. By the way, at the movies, it is packed at the movie theater here. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is by far the busiest I've seen the movie theater since the pandemic began last year. So I'm excited that a lot of people are returning to the movies. I'm really hopeful that movie theaters can survive because it's one of my favorite places on the planet. So I'm going to go in and see The Conjuring Part 3. Okay guys, so I just finished seeing The Conjuring 3, also known as The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And overall, I would say I enjoyed the movie. I would say it's probably definitely the weakest of the 3 Conjuring movies so far, but that does not mean it's bad. I thought it was, you know, entertaining. I thought it was executed very well. Maybe the script wasn't the most unique in the world. It felt very predictable, and you felt like you knew what was going to happen throughout the film because you've seen many movies like this in the past. However, I really enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed some of the unique things they did with the characters in this movie. I don't think it's that big of a spoiler to say that Patrick Wilson's character has a heart attack very early on in this movie, and that I thought was one of the best decisions they made with the movie. I don't know if the guy had a heart attack in real life, because of course the Conjuring series is based on real life people who, you know, tell these stories. Whether you believe them or not is up to you, but, you know, it's based on real world people. So I don't know if the guy had a heart attack in real life or if they did that for the purposes of this movie, but I thought it was a really good decision because it added tension in a very unique way, because not only are you concerned about you know, the supernatural things that are going on in this movie, but you're also kind of concerned, like, even just him jogging through the woods could lead to another, you know, heart issue. So I thought that was a great way of building tension, and kind of a unique way of building tension. The actors in this movie were pretty good. I enjoyed the performances. And like I said, there are some unique things, like the way they did some of the jump scares I liked, because if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of jump scares. I feel like almost all the mainstream horror movies today are just, they completely rely on jump scares, almost to the point where they ignore parts of the story just in order to get that scare out of people. And, you know, that's never been the most scary thing in the world to me. The most scary thing is, you know, psychological to me, as opposed to just these sequences where everything gets quiet and then they cut real quick to a freaky looking thing. That's never drawn me in. But I enjoyed some of the ways that they did them in this movie. Not as much as I enjoyed the first two Conjuring movies, but I thought they got creative with the jump scares. And it's not entirely predictable what they're going to do with each jump scare. Lots of creepy imagery in the movie, which was good. It took it in a different direction from what I was anticipating. I was anticipating a lot of, you know, legal drama, because this movie is based on a famous court case where this man was charged with murder, and he claimed he was possessed by a demon. And so I expected some more of that, which I'm glad they didn't include that, because I felt like that would have taken me out of the story, the feeling of the horror movie, and turn really into a legal drama. And they didn't really do that hardly at all, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the direction they took with it. Overall, I would say a grade would be 3 out of 5 for this movie. Slightly above average, a decent horror movie. However, if you haven't ventured out to the theater for it, and you're not like super excited for it, I wouldn't recommend venturing out to the theater for this. I think it's on HBO Max, so if you haven't seen it yet, I would watch it there. But I enjoyed coming out to the theater. I had already seen the other movie that that was out right now that I really wanted to see, which was A Quiet Place 2. I've already seen that one, so decided not to see that again and to see this instead, which I enjoyed. All right. So that's my thoughts on the movie. That's everything that I picked up today in terms of physical media. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to stay tuned for future content. I have several video ideas in the making right now, kind of we're towards the end of June now and getting ready to go into July. I'm going on vacation next week, going up to Wisconsin, so that should be fun. I may have a video related to that. And then shortly after that, I'm planning a day trip where I'm going to take you guys along with me, and we're going to go over to, I believe, Indianapolis, and we're going to do some hunting. So some stuff that's kind of coming in the works, so definitely subscribe if you're not already and you want to. Stay tuned for future videos. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. See you later.